Hey folks, welcome back to Misty and Ike, a daily pop culture podcast, produced by Brickyard Media Group. And now here's your hosts, Misty Roberts and Isaac Heckert.
Hi.
Welcome back to Misty and Ike, everybody.
Butthole. You're such a butthole.
She was just like, why can't I open the show sometime? And I was like, okay, fine, go ahead. And then I interrupted her.
And then that happened.
Yep. Because that's what you do when you are a member of the royal family. Whatever you want.
That is true, but you are not. You are not King Ike.
Lies. Ooh, King Ike.
Oh, God, what have I started now?
King Ike and
King Ikesalus.
other King Misty.
Okay, that's fair.
We're kings.
Monarch Misty.
Ooh. We are kings duo.
Yeah.
Duo kings.
Did you know that today is Princess Diana's birthday?
Happy birthday, Princess Diana.
Even though she's not with us any longer.
Happy birthday, former Princess Diana.
And I realized we've never done an episode about the royals.
Well, the royal we
The royal we.
shall embark on an episode about the royalities.
Yeah. They've been in the press a lot lately, but we're gonna not talk about any of that.
Nope.
We're gonna talk about weird stuff about them.
Dude, and weird stuff, they have aplenty.
They have a lot of weird stuff.
Yes.
Did you know the Queen has 2 birthdays?
That's awesome. And
I
only
want
knew that.
2 birthdays.
Yep. You know what? I dub thee Misty 2 birthdays.
Thank you.
That shall also be your rap name.
I actually I would take that as my rap name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Misty 2 birthdays.
Absolutely. So like way back, King George, his birthday was in October.
Yeah.
And he didn't like that. So in the summertime, there was a big military parade. And he was like, I want my birthday to be
the 4th of July.
when the military parade is. So that they're having a parade for my birthday too. And so he said, I get 2 birthdays.
Okay.
And ever since then, all of the monarchs have had 2 birthdays. Wait.
Your birthday is now May 24th.
Okay. I'll take it.
6 months after your real birthday.
But then I just missed my birthday. So that sucks.
I did that on purpose.
You are not.
Now I don't have to give you a second birthday gift until next year.
Okay. Fair.
My second birthday would be April 20th. The first day of spring.
We also missed your birthday as well.
We did indeed.
420 also.
Oh, sick. Here's a weird fact.
Right.
The reigning monarch not only has custody of the grandchildren. We're not going to get into that.
That's super
The
weird.
weirder fact is that the reigning monarch owns all of the dolphins, swans, and whales in the UK.
What?
Yeah. Another odd rule for the reigning monarch is that he or she owns all of England's unmarked swans, as well as dolphins, whales, and sturgeons in the coastal waters of the UK. The rule dates back to the 1300s, and the whales and dolphins in question are classified as fishes royale.
Also known as a fantastic fish sandwich at McDonald's.
Yes.
I would like a fish royale.
With cheese.
With cheese. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Do you know you're not supposed to touch them?
I didn't know that, and I'm glad you told me that. If I ever meet them, I'll be like, hey, what's up?
I know, right?
I'll give them a handshake.
Yeah. I'll give them a high five.
Yeah. Or a hip bump, you know?
Right.
Pound.
So, a long-standing rule that nobody that isn't a royal should physically touch a member of the royal family.
Well, who wants those filthy peasant hands all over them anyway?
Well, and especially the monarch. So, it was a really big deal. In 2009, Michelle Obama hugged Queen Elizabeth. And that's supposed to be a really big no-no, but the Queen embraced it and she enjoyed it. And so they kind of ignore that now, the not touching thing.
That's cool.
Obombs.
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 Lady Obombs.
Like just laying new ground. Hugging up the Queen.
You know what else is super weird about the royals?
A lot of things, apparently.
Royals are not allowed to play Monopoly.
Oh, I've read about this before.
Yeah.
Apparently they get into really big family fights.
Yeah, the board game Monopoly can cause fights in just about any family. It's such a competitive game. And that's the reason the royals have been banned from playing it. According to Prince Andrew, it gets too vicious. So the Queen said they're no longer allowed to play.
I love that.
And no monopoly for you.
You're just not. And the thing is, it's not just like a family rule.
Right.
It's just like
it's now a rule.
No, it's like a rule.
Yeah. What if
rule.
You had to get a monopoly board on the black market in England? Like she banned it from the whole country.
That'd be so amazing.
It's like, yo, somebody opens their trench coat and they're like, I got that
boards.
good monopoly for you, yo.
I would buy it.
Which is interesting because you told me something before we started recording about how they make their money.
Yeah. So I always, and because I haven't ever really been like a royal watcher a lot, like it's,
Me neither.
I've kind of always just been like, it's really weird to me that there's a country that still has a queen. Like,
right.
It feels a little antiquated. But anyways, in my brain, I always thought that the taxpayers, that's how the royal family had their money. But that's not true. Their primary income is derived from an organization called the Duchy of Lancaster, and it's a real estate portfolio of residential, agricultural, and commercial properties. So they're real estate moguls.
They're playing Monopoly in real life.
Yeah.
That's why it's probably a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know the Queen doesn't need a driver's license?
Tell me more. Because that's weird.
Well, it's weird. I don't think she's ever driven herself anywhere. But in the UK,
she does actually drive herself a lot. There's a lot of photos of her.
Queen or not, she's too old to be driving. But
she's
in the
so cute. Look at her.
In the UK, driver's licenses are issued in Queen Elizabeth's name, but she doesn't have to issue herself one. As reigning monarch, she can drive without a license, and she doesn't need to take the driver's test or have a license plate on her car. Just a few of the perks of being queen. Prince Charles can look forward to those same privileges when he becomes king, if he becomes king.
You know what? So, also, in addition to not needing a driver's license, she also doesn't have to have a passport. So all of the UK passports are issued in her name. Like it's in your passport. So why would she need permission from herself to go travel abroad?
Right.
She is literally one of the only people in the world that requires no passport for international travel.
Any country.
Any country.
Because that's at one point England owned most of the world.
Yeah.
So.
That's a story for another day.
Sure is. Did you know that the royals travel with bags of their own blood?
Because it's pure.
Heirs to
quote,
the throne
unquote, pure.
I'm
reading.
Heirs to the throne must be protected at all costs, and that means traveling around with a little fridge containing their own blood. That way, if something happens while they're abroad, they can guarantee a transfusion for themselves. It's reported that the Queen, Charles, and William do this, but no word on if the Duchess of Cambridge and her children do too.
I wonder if our presidents do that. That's... And I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That they would do that. I wonder if like the presidential cars have that like mini fridge of their blood and stuff when they travel.
I bet we should,
like Air Force One and stuff.
We should do like a presidential. I know we already did an episode on presidents, but like quirky things that presidents do.
Yeah. Like I would think that would be something that would be required. Now that you read it like that, it makes complete and total sense.
Well, the other thing that could make sense, and I don't know if they implement this, is that if for the president, if the top 4 people that are his Secret Service had his same blood type. They could just
good point too.
They could just tap in.
Interesting.
But in the presidential motorcade, there are what 2 to 4 ambulances or something.
Yeah, I bet that's. So. I think it's 4.
That's where they probably keep the blood. It's probably not in the limo.
Yeah, but it's. I'm really curious to know if they do keep the blood.
Oh, and a follow up.
Tell me more.
They bring their own booze.
Blood and booze.
Something a little more fun
my band
to travel.
Name.
There it is. Misty, Blood and Booze. That's a good album name.
Yeah, it is.
Something more fun to travel with than blood is booze. Reportedly, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Prince Charles have their own private alcohol stash brought with them on their travels so they can ensure that their drinks aren't poisoned. Camilla prefers wine while Charles likes a gin and tonic.
Of course. Brits and the gin. That's interesting as well. I mean, that kind of reminds me of Hitler's food taster. You know that story, right?
Yes.
That Hitler had a food taster that tasted each of the things on his plate for every meal and everything that he ate so to make sure he wasn't poisoned.
How long would you wait, though, after the tester tastes?
Most poisons don't take that long.
Yeah.
I think they act pretty quick.
Do you think that, I mean, this is probably pre-microwave, but like, do you think he goes, maybe. He goes around, eats a little piece of everything, and then, what do you wait, 30 minutes? Then you got to heat the food back up, and then does somebody else have access to it? Then he's got to taste it again, so this taster slowly just eats all of his meal, and he starves to death.
That's interesting. I never thought of it like that, because you're right, it was pre-microwave. Huh. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Gross, dude.
Is there more? More gross?
This is gross.
Tell me.
The cake served at Prince Louis's christening was 7 years old.
Yeah, it was frozen. It's
Oh,
fine.
I mean, that makes
People
sense.
do that with their wedding cakes.
That
They
makes
take them
sense.
out on like their 20th anniversary and
So
eat a
did
piece
they
of their wedding
bake
cake.
it when he was born and freeze it until his christening?
Yeah, probably.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
It's been a tradition for every child of William and Kate's to be served a special christening cake after their baptisms. The dessert is a tier from the Cambridge's wedding fruit cake, originally baked in 2011. So by the time Prince Louis was christened in 2018, the cake was 7 years old. That's the power of a freezer.
Let's just talk about the fact that they made the poor kid have fruit cake.
I mean, they didn't make him
no
eat it. It
kid
was
is
served
gonna-
at his christening.
I'm sure that he... Oh, well, it's christening, sure. But like, then he had to eat it at his birthday 7 years later. Mm-hmm. Yuck. No kid likes fruit cake. But speaking of food, here's another weird one. When you have dinner with the king or the queen, it can seem like a bit of a race. Because the minute that one of them stops eating, every guest at the table is required to put their knives and forks down, and they're done eating as well. You can't continue eating after them.
That's weird.
When they're done, you're done.
I'm not going to dinner with those fools.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to enjoy my food.
What happens if they're at a buffet?
Something tells me they don't do a lot of buffets. Something tells me they do
Yeah.
quite a few seated.
That means the queen's
attended
probably
dinners.
never been to Vegas.
Harry has.
Ooh.
We all know about
we know
Harry in
about
them
that.
pictures.
Yep. You know how the queen likes to get woken up, this current queen, every morning?
By her corgis licking her face.
Oh, you gotta tell the corgi story after this.
Okay.
But the queen likes to get woken up by bagpipes every morning.
Okay.
We have alarm clocks and farmers have roosters, but the queen has bagpipes to wake her up every morning. They play at 9 a.m. under her terrace for Her Majesty to enjoy. Not everyone loves the sound of bagpipes, but the queen is a big fan of Scotland overall, so it makes sense that she also enjoys their national instrument.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that's kind of cool.
It's a nice 9 o'clock's a nice time because you're
Yeah,
probably
it's a
already
very
awake.
civil time.
Yeah.
She's come to being awake on her own.
Yep.
Woken up, as someone call it.
Awoken.
I couldn't come up with the word.
You can't wake it out of your
I
brain.
was like, she wokened.
Tell the corgi story.
So the queen apparently loves corgis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of corgis.
Me
I don't
neither.
like short-legged dogs. And one of hers mated with a dachshund, which I'm not a huge fan of either, because they have short legs. And it created a new mixed breed species of dog that's called the Dorgie. And she did that. She created an entire new breed of dog and deemed it, this will be a dog. This should happen more.
And they look like, not like this.
Squatty, fat.
These are all just corgis, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is this a dorgie?
I don't know.
That's a corgi. This is a dorgie.
Sure.
This is dorgie versus corgi. A few good pets.
Okay.
They just have a little bit longer legs.
I mean, the Dorgie, I like the Dorgie.
I do too. It
It's
looks like a doji.
I like the Dorgie.
Yeah. It's
That's
just
not
got
what
longer
I
legs.
envisioned a Corgi and a Dachshund mating to look like.
Me neither.
I just figured it'd be even squattier.
Corgis are just so mean and barky.
I've not met any nice Corgis either.
Barks. If they were royal, they'd be Sir Barks a lot. Sorry, folks.
So, the royals own a whole lot of property. A lot. The holdings of the Crown Estate are worth an estimated $14 billion and extend all over the UK, including all sorts of niches, including royal palaces, forestry and parkland, commercial and residential, mineral mining, including gold and silver, and farming and agriculture. They also hold the rights to race courses like the Royal Ascot and shopping centers.
What?
They own everything. They're like Bob Hope.
Yeah.
Everything from the Hollywood sign all the way to the airport.
Yep.
They own it all.
They own it all.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's 2 episodes in a row. We talked about how much land Bob Hope owns.
exactly. That's why I said it, because I just Really kind of learned it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that he owned that much. I knew he owed a lot.
That's a
but
lot. He was probably like the king of the valley.
He was probably the king of the valley.
He was the king of entertainment for sure.
He was definitely that for a very long time.
What's the closest thing the U.S. had to a royal?
The Kennedys.
I think
A lot of people say the Kennedys.
Oh, you know what? As it registers, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say Elvis, but
as a family, that has been a part of the political landscape of a country for many, many years, and there are a lot of them that are still play a part in politics.
Well, since we're finished eating, everyone else needs to be finished with this episode too.
You're right? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard, and I don't like it.
Do you think? Okay, here's my last question. Do you think they're even aware? Like, if it's a rule that they do that their whole life, is it just the queen?
Yeah, it's the queen or the king.
Right. So, that person has always...
They've always done that, so do they know that that's weird?
Right.
Right. I always wonder things like that.
Do you think they save their last... They look around, they save their last bite. Is everyone else done? And they take their last bite?
Right. I don't... Like, if it's something that's so ingrained in you because you don't know any different, do you know how weird it is?
Do you think after dinner when the queen goes to bed, everybody hits the fridge and they're all in the kitchen just hanging out, eating snacks?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They would need like 3 or 4 of my nom nom noms bags.
Yeah.
Of snacks.
Or they just built their own like In and Out in the basement.
That would be incredible. I want to In and Out in my basement.
You and me both.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they know it's weird or not. But I imagine as they get a little older and go out into society more, they find that, other people don't do that? Okay, that's weird. But do they think we're all weird because we don't do that?
Right. Why doesn't everyone else stop when I stop?
Right. Yeah. Right.
What happens if... my first assumption is that if they ate at a restaurant, they would clear the restaurant. But if that's not the case... What if they were eating amongst regular humans and then they were done? Would the entire restaurant be done no matter what time they were sat?
I don't think so. And I think that I think that's probably part of like why everyone's incredibly obsessed with, the Harry thing right now is because he's made himself very accessible and very normal. And so for like his entire adult life, he's been going out to restaurants and bars and, being very social and kind of resetting that tone of like, don't act so weird around me.
Yeah.
Like I'm just a guy trying to eat at a restaurant.
Well, he's got no shot at the throne.
No, but does that really matter?
Yeah. I mean, like, why live in a castle for the rest of your life if you have no shot at the power?
I completely agree with you. But why, why do they still have that in the first place?
Why do they have the throne?
Yeah.
I like it. We should have one.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I know you want to be King Ike. I know. How about I make you King Ike of Brickyard Studios?
Okay.
Is that...
Can it go on my business card?
It can.
I'll be king of the Misty and Ike program, and you'll be the head writer, and I'll be the king. But you don't want to stop eating when I stop eating.
Okay. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
King
Ike list.
Let's take a poll. Should I be the king or should Misty be the queen of this show?
Why can't we be the king and the queen?
Because that would mean...
No, it doesn't. You have a king and a queen of like a homecoming. That doesn't mean that they're married to each other. Doesn't even mean they're dating.
Do I get a sash and a staff?
You get a sash and a staff, and if you want it, I'll get you a tiara. I'll get you a man tiara.
Mantera. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that sounds like a cool
like
band name.
Some jewels and your big puffy hat that I get you.
Ooh.
Your king hat.
Ooh. All right, I'm into this. I need a throne, too.
I don't know if I can build you the throne.
I'm going to make a throne for the safety meeting.
Is it going to resemble the Foo Fighter throne?
Yeah, it's made out of guitars and awesomeness.
Yep.
Well, thanks for listening to us ramble on the Royals.
It was fun. Like I said, I don't know that much about them.
Let's call this the Royal Ramble.
I like that.
Hey, that's how we name shows, buddy.
Yep, sure is.
Since it's not Friday, is it Friday?
It's not. Well, we got one more day.
We got one more day.
Yep.
Hang in there, folks.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.